Yep. The pardons that Biden auto pen signed on during his last hours in office might be invalidated because although Biden said that he was conscious in the decision making, now Time Magazine, who had assigned a 3 month writer to do a story on the Biden administration, he reported that Biden did not individually approve each of the almost 1,500 names that was pardoned for clemency. Rather, he signed off on a standard that he wanted to be used to determine who would qualify for the clemency. And on his last day in office, Biden's chief of staff, his name was Jeff Zients, he gave class approval, the staff approval to use the auto pen. And the staff that drafted the original names, they weren't even in the room. A few of the pardons made while Biden and his staff were not present were Chief Medical Advisor Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley. But even before these details came out, Trumpito had already had AG Pam Bondi launch an investigation into the auto pen use. That was back in June, back in March. But since then, the evidence supporting that Biden's aides abused the power of the presidential signatures. Come on, this all the evidence is coming out. Basically, because of Biden's cognitive decline, he did not even really know what was going on. They couldn't believe that we would actually fall for a weekend at Bernie's for 3 years, but they actually try to pull it off for a whole term. Like, y'all think we all just stupid? Anyway, my name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
Former President Biden says that he made, quote, every decision on pardons and commutations at the end of his term as Republicans investigate his use of the auto pen. The president tells the New York Times aides used the auto pen because there were so many of these documents to be signed. And as I said, record number of commutations and pardons from the Biden administration, a record by a lot. But the Times also reports, quote, Mr. Biden did not individually approve every name for the categorical pardons that applied to large numbers of people he and aides confirmed. Rather, after extensive discussion of different possible criteria, he signed off on the standards he wanted to be used to determine which convicts would qualify for a reduction in sentence. With that, we bring in Michael LaRosa, former special assistant to President Biden and advisor to the First Lady. He left the White House in 2022. Michael, let me just play this from President Trump earlier today, and then I want to get your reaction to all of it.
The people on the other side of the Resolute desk, I know them. Lisa, the whole group, and they're no good. They're sick people. And I guarantee you he knew nothing about what he was signing. I guarantee it.
So, Michael, you were there till 2022. What's your reaction to that comment and all of this?
Well, first of all, the president is, certainly his discretion to use his authority, his pardon authority, to certainly delegate classes of federal convictions, like non-violent drug offenders or January 6 pardons. However, some of the pardons and commutations of individuals convicted of crimes were pretty hideous. That President Biden commuted at the end of his term. And I'm with Senator Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania, that somebody dropped the ball and that the president got it wrong. I mean, men who were convicted of murdering, executing 2 FBI agents, a mother and her 8-year-old son, or a woman chained to cinder blocks found at the bottom of a lake. What in God's name, what kind of compassion would...
So, Michael, do you
what's
think...
the logic behind the compassion?
I'm so sorry, we're right up against the end of the show here, but do you think he knew that he was doing this?
That's what I want to know, because it doesn't sound like the Joe Biden who wrote the Violence Against Women Act, doesn't sound like the Joe Biden who signed a crime bill that expanded the death penalty for crimes specifically like this in the 90s. And it just, I'm disappointed.
Biden said that he granted the pardons even if he didn't sign the official warrants. But did you, Biden? Did you really? He pardoned pretty much everybody on death row. Like he said, some of them were vicious murderers. He pre-pardoned Anthony Fauci and his brother. I don't even know what his brother might have done to get pre-pardon for him. but he got pre-pardoned too. And pretty much everybody that was in jail, except for the January 6th Patriots, were pardoned, and all of his family were pre-pardoned. So, and he wasn't even there that night, nor were the writers that wrote up the names of the people that should receive clemency. So, yeah, I won't be surprised when I find out what happens. Well, I don't know. You tell me what you think happened. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe button so you can be current on my current videos. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Until next time, peace.